stepped over a big transitionary moment that I think a lot of people out there are faced with, which is this idea that this is what I do. You were in the manufacturing business. You know, you went home and it was a family business. You talked to the family, said, what do you do? We're in the manufacturing business. And you had to, A, acknowledge the fact that you were no longer in that business, but B, identify an opportunity and then explain to a lot of people, I've got to assume, there's an opportunity here, we ought to pursue it, and here's why it makes sense. Talk about the challenges there. Talk about the sort of what it takes to make that happen.
I guess I made it sound a little too simple.
Well, yeah.
It certainly wasn't that simple. There was a lot of pressure around all of us then. As I mentioned, we had 450 employees. We had 2 factories set up at the same time. We were able to transition from the ladies' sportswear business at the same time into the fleece business when fleece was hot in the mid-90s. And we were making garments for major retailers on the fleece side because that was still a commodity. Or that wasn't a commodity item yet, but that was still an item that needed to be made in the States. So we had a lot going on. But for me, I am the type that can't sit still. I need to think ahead and think about what's next. And knowing that they were getting paid 60 cents an hour versus what we were paying, 10 plus, 12, $13 on incentive per hour for our employees, I knew that there was a problem. So I did some research, and that's where it really started. I did some research, found a company called Whoops down in New Jersey. And I don't know if that's good at mentioning competitors' names, but Whoops was down in New Jersey, and that's the only name I had heard of back then, who was servicing major retailers and manufacturers, solving their problems.